Alchemy Pay Price Prediction 2025, your key to becoming a crypto millionaire. In this video, we analyze the potential by 2025 and whether now is the perfect time to get in. Stay tuned because the answers could change your future. In a world that is becoming increasingly digital, payments are easier than ever. But when it comes to cryptocurrencies, there's a big problem. It's still way too complicated for everyday use. What if you could use your cryptocurrency as easily as your credit card or ultimately a QR code? Imagine payments in seconds, without stress, without complicated processes. That's where Alchemy Pay comes in, a real game changer in the payment industry. But how does it work? What makes it so revolutionary? All of that in this video, and then we'll jump right into the analysis of Alchemy Pay. What is it actually? It's a fiat crypto gateway that simplifies payments by converting cryptocurrency directly into fiat currency. It also works with well-known payment systems like Visa, MasterCard, and mobile payment platforms. And it's used by many merchants to enable payments with cryptocurrencies. It runs on the Ceres and Binance blockchain, and was actually founded back in 2018 but has been on the market for a long time. And here we come to my 20 metrics. If you want a more detailed explanation of these, I've listed them here. Otherwise, I'll link a video up here where I explain them in detail for you. Capitalization. So they have a market capitalization in the low cap sector, so they still have extreme potential. The market capitalization is extremely important. You always have to pay attention to the fact that it's not the price that matters in the end, but the market capitalization that determines whether an altcoin can grow and how much it can still grow. Yes, how much potential is still in Alchemy Pay? We'll get to that later in the overall analysis. Then the next point, what about the circulating supply? It's important. A circulating supply essentially means the coins that are not yet on the market can create price pressure if too many coins are still not available. Here it's already 84%. That's extremely positive. That means not as many tokens can come onto the market anymore, which means the price pressure isn't as strong anymore. So in that area, 9 out of 10. Now let's move on to the roadmap. They're basically still building on that. They have an extremely large roadmap, have already implemented a lot of it, and basically want to further integrate into various systems, build new partnerships, and continue developing DeFi products. And you can tell that they have a plan, that they are already building things, and that they have really implemented their roadmap in the past. It's always important not just to focus on the roadmap, in that it's not just about the meaning, but also about the implementation. So that's a 7 out of 10. Next, we come to the team, and they are ultimately an experienced team from the fintech and blockchain developer community. They have a good background, technology, but also finance is very well positioned there. 8 out of 10. Next, we come to the narrative. What narratives are they addressing? Well, the payment, let's say, narrative. Then DeFi. So they are well positioned there, especially regarding XRP. It's another system. But the topic of payments is becoming increasingly relevant and will also be an important narrative in the future. So that's an 8 out of 10. Yes, and then what problem does it ultimately solve? That you can really pay easily with cryptocurrencies in everyday life. That's extremely relevant because cryptocurrencies will continue to gain momentum in the future and will be increasingly integrated into everyday life, allowing for easy payments, and they solve that problem. 9 of 10. The tokenomics, how strong is the tokenomics? It's well balanced, has a strong ecosystem, and is very solid. So that's an 8 out of 10. What about the investors? They are ultimately supported by DWF Labs, and they also have a good, let's say, trust from institutional investors. They are not as far along as perhaps others like Ethereum or Solana. They are solidly positioned there. So that's also a 7 out of 10. So how does it look in terms of capital? They are in a robust position and have a lot of capital. The coin already has its value, and they definitely have a good, let's say, background. They also weathered the bear market well. That's always very important and shows that they definitely have capital. 8 out of 10. So how does it look in terms of marketing? Marketing is really important for the project's success and to have visibility. They are active on social media, and they also have, let's say, certain partners they work with. Of course, 7 out of 10. Stop. If you really appreciate such in-depth analyses, then feel free to leave a like now. Thank you very much for that. It supports me and my channel and of course the algorithm. I also found an altcoin this week that has extreme potential. The tokenomics is very strong and has a good team. I analyzed it based on my 20 indicators. The video will be released next weekend. Don't miss this at all. So subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to activate the bell, and then we'll see each other in the next video. And now we continue right away. Yeah, how does the idea look? How simple is the idea? And in the end, it's simple. Everyone understands that in the end, you can pay with cryptocurrency easily in everyday life. So the idea behind this altcoin is very good and easy to understand. So how does the long-term vision look? They ultimately want to be the global leader in the crypto payment sector and of course in the area of DeFi and financial services. So they have a plan, they're very well positioned, the long-term vision is there, and they're mainly working on implementing it. 8 out of 10. Maximal supply, that's extremely good, very important for the token in the end, so that not an infinite amount can still be produced or created. Well positioned, 7 out of 10. So how does it look in terms of completeness? The diluted market capitalization is at 1.18 times the market cap, so it's a good and fair valuation. 8 out of 10. So how does the volume look? What about the liquidity? That's well above my threshold, which means it has high liquidity in the market, which is extremely relevant and important, so it gets a 9 out of 10. So how does the token distribution look now? The token distribution was fair at the beginning, so they are well positioned there. 8 out of 10. Then they have many top coin holders, or it is rather small. A smaller number of top coin holders naturally makes it more decentralized, and the risk of a certain price pressure because these coin holders ultimately sell their tokens is of course high. But here it is only moderate, the concentration is rather low, hence 7 out of 10. On one hand, it can certainly be used for payment tokens, for staking, but also for benefits within the ecosystem. So it has a lot of advantages because everything is built on that, which is why it gets an 8 out of 10. And then the next point, the community is active on Reddit, Twitter, and Telegram, so they are active in all the major areas, which means they are well positioned and solid. 7 out of 10. And how does the current market situation look? They are very well positioned because it is becoming increasingly relevant, as I mentioned earlier. More and more cryptocurrencies are now being integrated into everyday life. Ultimately, the politics, especially in America, are positively inclined towards this, meaning there are regulatory certainties and therefore adoption is continuously progressing. 7 out of 10. Well, then let's get to the results. 87.3% is an extremely good result. For market capitalization, it's still quite low, which means there's definitely potential for massive gains. So even 100x is still possible. Then we have the circulating supply, which is already quite high, meaning the price pressure from new coins entering the market is not as strong anymore. Then we have a solid roadmap that has also been implemented very well in the past, so they are well positioned and know what they want. So, the team is solid from the blockchain sector, but the finance sector is also good. Then we have an important narrative in the financial sector that is also needed in everyday life. They solve a significant problem and ultimately have a solid tokenomics. Investors and capital are also solid, although there definitely needs to be a bit more in the future. Then they also need to catch up a bit in marketing and social media. As for simplicity, the idea is certainly there. Then it's deflationary, with a maximum supply, which is already a good thing. And ultimately the volume, meaning the liquidity, is very high, which definitely speaks in favor of the coin. So the utility is definitely there. I mean, the token can be used for everything important on the platform. And ultimately, the current situation is very positive. Now let's move on to the price forecast for Alchemy Pay. Ultimately, if everything goes normally, it would be 0.6. If things go significantly better, in an optimistic scenario, it could be 1.2. And if everything really takes off and there's an extreme price surge, then it could reach 2.4, which is an extremely good result. These are all possibilities depending on where the entire crypto market ultimately moves. Yes, now that you know the potential of Alchemy Pay, let me introduce you to another altcoin that I analyzed, which really surprised me a lot. The price forecast is also quite extreme, so I recommend you watch this video. It will really surprise you. Have fun with it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.